to you from Resistance headquarters. It's all the green. It's all the inheritance.
That's the Warren Falls Jr.
and modern conspiracy.
Provide the information that you need to thrive as an independent, to build a climbable leverage, and carve out true empowered success.
Knowledge equals empowerment, and empowerment equals freedom.
Welcome to part 2 of episode 7.
This Huntsbury, man, let's pull out some lessons
Okay.
from CAVASHAWN's story. This is something that we want to start doing with the Off the Grid Soldier segment to let you see as a listenership how you can pull out success, lessons, insights from the band or artists that we feature in each Off the Grid Soldier episode.
So you can apply them.
So you can apply the intel with this.
Right.
Okay, with the CAVASHAWN story, we pulled out 5 short points we want to bring up. The first one, Mr. Huntsbury, is no overnight success.
No, they working it.
They work it, man.
From the ground up.
Man, they've been playing since they were teens.
Oh, yeah.
In fact, I was reading on them, and the Cincinnati, one of the Cincinnati newspapers, said that they were teen idols.
Right.
So these guys have been playing together for years. No overnight success. They made a commitment to play, and they've been still playing, and they are playing now as we speak. The second point that we can pull out from them is start where you are.
Start where you are.
They made a name for themselves in Cincinnati first.
Mm-hmm.
They built a base where they were from. They got good enough as musicians and as a band that people in the local area began to talk about them.
Right.
So that's what you need to do. Start where you are.
You got to get those folks talking about you, and you can't say, well, how am I going to get shows? How am I going to do this?
Right.
No excuses.
No excuses.
You got to start where you are. If it's your neighborhood,
Yeah.
everybody in that neighborhood needs to know who you are and what you do and when your next show is.
There you go.
Even if it's on the corner.
Right, there it is.
At the park.
There you go. Shit, man, you done conquered. Yeah, just say, look, man, I'm taking over this corner this week.
That's
you know.
right.
The third lesson that we can learn from CAVASHAWN's story is make your own breaks.
Make your own breaks.
I'm going to read this little part. The band said they never had a choice, Mr. Huntsbury, but to make their own breaks. That just made me almost want to shout, man. I love a band that just crunked me up like that.
That's just so real, right?
Man, the band booked themselves, Huntsbury, hundreds of shows across the U.S.
Not looking for nobody to save them.
They booked their own shows, man, and they did it in big cities and little small cities.
Right.
They did not discriminate.
Right.
If there was a stage
We
that
want
was
to play.
available, they played. Man.
That's right.
So that's a great lesson on that part in terms of, man, you know what? Don't wait for somebody to save you. Me and Huntsbury and myself have said that 1,000 times already, it seems like. Nobody's going to rescue you. Save yourself.
Save yourself.
Okay.
Do the work, man.
Do the work. Just commit yourself to do the work.
You can't skip steps.
Yes, sir.
Mhm.
Now, the fourth lesson that we learned from CAVASHAWN is energize your fan base to get involved with your success.
Right.
And that alludes to what you talked about earlier with the CAVASHAWN Caravan.
Mm-hmm.
These guys have been ingenious enough to understand, look, our fan base is motivated to help us.
Mhm.
So they turned their fan base into street teams.
Hey, those people are motivated.
Yes.
They want to be a part of what's going on.
Yes.
I mean, and if you have that same energy, you're
Right.
putting that out there, they're going to want to be a part of what you're doing.
Yeah.
So why not have these individuals? How does most bands promote themselves anyway? Word of mouth.
Word of mouth,
When
man.
you're at a certain level, word of mouth is everything.
That mailing list. They get that mailing list that well now it's an email list. Back in the old days it's a mailing list.
Mhm.
But they send it out. Look, man, we're gonna be playing at such and such club this weekend. And they send that mailing list out, and then they know that the people that on that mailing list, they gonna tell 2 or 3 other people, man, look, I'm going to see the show this weekend, man. Y'all come on with me. This band is great.
Now it's your social networks.
Yes.
It's getting those people out there
Right.
to connect with other people in that area so that you can have more people at your show.
There it is right there, Ms. Huntsbury. Okay, the fifth and final lesson, and it's several, but we're going to end with 5, is they were shrewd business people.
They're not signed with a label right now.
They shrewd, Mr. Huntsbury.
Talk about leverage. They
Yeah.
have it right now.
That's right, man.
Go ahead.
The band has made a commitment to travel and write, and it's paying off for them now. They've got strong digital sales, and of course, the live performance money.
Mhm.
And the thing I love about this, Mr. Huntsbury, is it's allowed them to maintain a lifestyle of independence, and they can keep doing what they love to do.
Isn't that the whole point?
That's the whole point, man. These guys love to play.
They have define success the way that they see the success.
The way that they see
They're
it.
not defining it based upon what another major label is telling them.
Yes, sir, man.
You know,
man, don't make me so funny. He gonna get me happy.
so this is what we mean. I mean, we can talk about those individuals that utilize the major companies and outgrew them.
Yeah.
Basically, you know, now they can jump ship and totally use what they built with the label for themselves.
Right.
We're not talking about. This is why these guys are so
powerful.
They're powerful. They are the individuals that, you know, I would look to first and foremost when I'm talking to somebody that's trying to do this.
Right, right.
Because they're an example of what to do when you're starting from
ground zero.
Yeah.
There you go.
Ground zero is a good thing. But they were willing to go through all the hardships and the dip.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So, CAVASHAWN is our off-the-grid soldier for this segment.
All right, in this section, Mr. Cross, we're dealing with the deal. And we have refined this to address the issues that some of the individuals that are writing in are talking about. There are some dips that they're going through.
Right.
And there was one particular question that interests both of us about how do we get gigs if the majority of the club owners and venues are insisting on you being, quote, major.
Right.
You know, they won't even let me in, which is what the guy was saying.
Right.
If
I'm not affiliated.
If I'm not affiliated, they're not gonna book me.
Right.
So basically, how do I get bookings? I hear what y'all saying. I like the philosophy, but hey man, I can't get no gig.
Well, I guess he said it's real out here.
It's real out here. All that theory y'all talking about in that classroom ain't helping me on the street. You know what I'm saying? So what's going on, Carl?
But man, with Huntsbury, man, but let's just get knee deep, man.
All right.
See, now, this is the part that you have to understand with this music industry, the way it's operating at this point. It's your responsibility to build your own buzz. It's your responsibility.
No, really?
Yeah, and that's key that you accept that responsibility, Mr. Huntsbury.
So if I have to do that, what do I need a record company for?
Well, yeah.
That's a whole other show.
We got about 45 more episodes
Anyway.
this year that's going to be nailing that point home. But
Anyway, go ahead.
On the point of the live performance, okay, you have to think outside the box. And a lot of people hate that expression, but it's applicable in this scenario, in this question, because if you consider that, okay, it's only this many ways for me to make this work, then you're locked out. Because you've accepted the limitations that the club owner is trying to put on you. And I'm saying, don't accept that limitation. First of all, who told you need to play at a club? Who told you that?
Well, I mean, it's obvious that, you know, you want to get the clubs in the mind of a person that's trying to do that, but is that really what you need to do first?
No, I reject the notion that the club is the only format that you can use to, you know, present yourself, to present your music.
Right.
Okay, man, is there a park?
There are parks everywhere.
Are there community centers?
There are community centers everywhere. Do you have a place at your house or a park?
Do you have a front yard?
Can you pull up to a car wash and open up your
Yes,
trunk?
there you go, man. It's just, you think about, this is what I love, Mr. Huntsbury, about how hip-hop started in New York City. Because basically it was a street corner art form where you just had MCs, man, that was just spitting rhymes on the corner.
Yeah, and well actually, the whole deal is centered around your performance.
Yes.
Keeping the crowd moving was the whole deal. Giving these block parties.
Yes,
That was the major deal.
Right.
And they wanted to move the crowds. And then it just came to a point to where those individuals that were able to move the crowd over the breaks.
Yes, talk to me.
For the rest of this program, click on part 3.
What have you done?
What are you doing?
And what
Will you do for the movement? We'll see you guys next time.
Thrive off the grid until you can leverage to get back on the grid on your terms, if you so choose.